All set.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Um, so first and foremost, just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll get started with the questions.
Okay, my name is Caitlin Brown. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I go to school in Miami, at the University of Miami, and I'm studying finance with a minor in business law. And yeah.
Awesome. So what made you choose to do this interview in the first place?
Well, I do think it's important for young Black girls to know that their curly hair is beautiful from a young age. I think Curls for Queens has an amazing initiative, which is starting the conversation for the next generation of young Black girls to grow up loving their hair. Because, like myself, I had to go through kind of a self-reflection period my
Mhm.
junior year of high school, which like where I really started loving my hair and like myself as a Black woman.
That's absolutely wonderful. It's beautiful. And you're not like the first person to ever talk about what it's like like to have to come to grips with who you are as a Black woman. Tell me a little bit more about what you mean. What was that journey like for you?
So basically, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, which is I would say majority Black city, but the school that I went to a private school from K through 12
Hmm.
is majority white. So from kindergarten, all my friends, I was the only Black girl in the friend group.
Hmm.
And I started off being so confused, like when we would go swimming, like why their hair would be like straight after we got out the pool and mine
Yeah.
was like an afro. I just like could not understand why mine was different. And then like going through middle school and high school, um, like having like like when hormones and you're like, why don't boys like me? Like it's like
Absolutely.
I didn't realize until sophomore, junior year of high school that I wasn't ugly. I'm just not white. Like I just had to like go through a whole like talking with my mom,
Hmm.
talking with a therapist about
Hmm.
just like loving myself and just realizing that it wasn't me, that I'm beautiful, but it's just the environment that I'm put in that made me feel that I wasn't.
Yeah, that's powerful, Caitlin. Yeah, to be able to reflect and see not only are you a beautiful Black woman, but hearing that story and hoping that it'll be able to impact other girls. I'm excited about this. Um, how do you wear your hair the most now, and why?
Since I live in Miami, Florida, it is very humid. So most of the majority of the year, it's in knotless braids. But now that we've reached the kind of cooler months in Miami, Florida,
Mhm.
I like switched to like a sew-in, like a leave out sew-in. I tried the closure sew-in, I couldn't do it. My biggest props to whoever can. Like I really wanted to like it because I wanted my hair just to like stay in braids and not have to worry about it. But I
Mhm.
tried it like twice, and I it's just not for me. So I do like minimal leave out closure. I mean minimal leave out sew in, but majority I'm in braids, and then I'll take like a week or two and wear my hair natural
Mhm.
just to give it a break, and then like I'll either go back to some sort of braids.
Yeah. So most of it is like protective hairstyles.
Yes, because I'm not the best at hair care, so the way in college it's like basically all me, so I need
Mhm.
something that I can be able to manage.
Yeah, absolutely. What does your hair mean to you?
Um, I would say hair means the world to me. It might not be healthy, but my mood depends on if my hair looks good or not. That's still something I'm working on.
Mm.
Uh, but because like even now, like if my hair doesn't look good, I'll be like, ugh, like I don't know if I want to go out, like go hang out
Talent.
today. Like it just you know how like when you get a new hairstyle and you feel just like so good, like just so
Absolutely.
confident.
Yeah, you feel like you can take on the entire world.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh, yeah, I can handle anything. And then when you don't have your hair done,
right.
you're like, I don't even know. I'm not getting out of bed today.
Right.
I can take a
Like I'll
nap.
put
It's all
some
right.
makeup on. I'll like try on my outfit.
Yeah, total. It's totally different. Yeah, actually, that's kind of how Curls for Queens got started, was because of I work at a school on my normal 9 to 5. I work as a social worker, and our population is mostly 96% African American, and it's a Title I school. And so a lot of these kids, they have a lot more barriers than just hair, but this is just a nice way to alleviate some of those barriers. But this young lady was so sad. Like she had her hoodie on and she was taking her sweet time going to class. She was like kicking rocks and like looking around. And I asked her, and she was like, um, I'm being teased, basically. I'm being teased, so I don't really feel like going to class. And that same girl earlier the school year was like getting in trouble and stuff like that. But we found a correlation that when her hair was done, she she wanted positive attention when her hair was done. When her hair wasn't done, it was like, I'm gonna do whatever. Like, I don't even care.
Hmm.
Y'all gonna make fun of me anyways. And she was fighting and stuff. Um, and then, this is what came from it. And so you're not alone. And if it's healthy or not, it doesn't matter. It's true and it's honest. Okay. What do you feel like confidence means?
I think confidence is the pride you carry yourself with,
Mhm.
the attitude that you have for yourself that you can do anything. And like once you put your mind to it and you work hard for it, that you can do it. Confidence is basically um depending on not even depending on what you look, it could be, but the pride that you have in yourself and how smart you are,
Yeah.
that you're able to kind of compete or like not that you're the smartest in the room, but you're just like to have faith in your own skills.
I like that. Have faith in your own skills. And then what about professionalism?
Um, I think professionalism is the way you carry yourself in a professional setting. This could mean manners, etiquette, having a firm handshake. You're dedicated to the like showing people that you're dedicated to the work and also asking good questions so that you can seem intelligent and not just that you don't understand what's going on.
hmm And do you feel like there is, or what is the connection between those two things, confidence and professionalism and hair, and specifically for Black women?
Yeah, for since I'm a finance major, I'm around like white men all day. And I'm around the type of white men that are kind of like, oh, like this little black, this I'm 4'11, so this little black
So I
girl
was
that
thinking.
is wants to be like a finance major too. That's weird. Like they've never
Mhm.
seen me in this space before. Um, so you just have to like you gotta fake it till you make it. Like sometimes I'll be so intimidated in a room with no one that looks like me, but if you act like confident and you are a professional, but for Black women you have to be a little bit more professional than the rest of them because they're gonna find one thing to like count you out. You can't
hmm
give them a reason to be like, oh no, she's not as smart as us. You have to be 10 times more professional, 10 times more confident in yourself because they're already thinking little of you. Um, and with hair, you also have to like hold yourself to a standard because like your hair, like we can't just like get up in the morning and brush our hair and like go.
Right.
Like in these professional settings, you have to like be on point every time. That's why um anytime I have like a Zoom call or an interview, I make sure my hair looks good because I don't want them to like count me out that way. And also when I was taking headshots, my mom was like, I know this is like kind of like it's just how the world works, but she was like, let's go like get your hair done, like take it out of the braids, out of like the
Mhm.
knotless braids, go get your hair done like kind of like this and straighten it and take your headshots that way. Like it's sad that you have to do it,
Mhm.
but it's just kind of reality of how it works. Like when I'm here, I'm in a business frat and like when my hair is in braids, it's not a big deal. But
Right.
say when I want to get a job, like when I want to apply to these big corporations, the headshot that I want on my LinkedIn,
Mhm.
I want it to be kind of so they don't count me out because of
hmm
my hair. So they don't have the option to.
Yeah. Yeah. You're trying to make it so that they can look past like your physical and see that you're qualified for whatever you're doing. Um,
Right.
yeah. And
And
so
then
as
like
a
once
black,
I get the job,
Then that's when the knotless braids come out.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. But I feel like from the different interviews that we've done in Curls for Queens in general, it comes as two different types of reactions to that. It's either like I say some people that are like, screw it, I'm wearing my afro, and if you can accept me in my afro, then I don't need to be there. Or it's like, no, I'm making a way for somebody else, so I'm going to straighten my hair or make myself more
Right.
presentable and more acceptable in order to make it in before I start, busting windows and glass
Right.
doors and
Because
everything.
there's very little of us. I think I've met one other black girl finance major at this school, and one other out of like maybe like I would say 60% of like people in the business school are finance majors.
Oh, that's a
Like
lot.
majority of people are finance
Mm-hmm.
majors. I've met like maybe 20% is girls in general,
So you're like the
and maybe
minority of the minority of the
right, and then
minority.
about two of us are black. So any way to I can't play the whole they'll accept me because they won't.
Yeah.
They have like so many other people to pick from.
Yeah. That is a good point, Caitlin. We already talked about this, but is there anything else that you want to add as far as what you do for work, and how long you've been, interested in finance?
Um, I was interested in finance. So I was actually the regional teen treasurer of Jack and Jill. And so I that's like kind of got me interested in it because I ran on the platform of financial literacy. And
Mm-hmm.
then my senior year, I took a business class and we learned about like how to write balance sheets, how to write income statements and profit and loss. And I was like, this is a real like I was like, I really liked knowing how to read the financial statements because it meant that no one could take money from me
Mm-hmm.
because I figured out if you don't know how to read those, someone can easily slip something in there and be able to take like millions of dollars away from you.
Yeah.
And then I related that to financial literacy and like that's where the gap is, not just socially like African Americans are like kind of like not in that way, but also like in terms of money, we're
Mm-hmm.
not um caught up
Mm.
because of the education and generational wealth that we were not exposed to.
Right.
And so that's what got me interested in finance. And then also all the finance jobs just make you a lot of money right out of college. So
And that's nice.
yeah. So and then I took a class on business law and I really liked that. I never wanted to go to law school, but I really enjoyed business law.
Mm.
So with that, and I'm a financial officer for this like student run like communications consultancy, and
Mm-hmm.
basically I do the invoices and the contracts. And so if you ever need anything communication, you can contact me and I'll get like they do a whole bunch of like promotion and like
Awesome.
rebranding and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And we're like a student agency, so it's like the cost is like less. So once I did that, I noticed that I liked corporate finance and not like investment banking, which investment banking and like corporate banking, that's like where all of like you're spending 80 hours a day at work. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not me. I want to have
A
a
life
good nine
outside
to
of it.
five job,
Yeah.
like have a good social life outside of work. I didn't want the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so that's basically how I liked finance.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And so when I was reaching out to people and trying to find, I guess, people that would fit what we're looking for, the reason why I reached out to you was because you were a young Black woman in finance. And I'm sure that you had your own journey and your own challenges throughout it all. But to know that, okay, one of our little Black girls can look up and be like, oh, I remember Miss Caitlin. Yeah, she did it. So can I. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm hoping for from through all these interviews. So I know you touched upon it a little bit about your hair journey, but do you have anything to add? And then we'll do that one, and then I'll add the next one.
Okay, so basically, I grew up like getting my hair done every 2 weeks from this like hairstylist. She was like in Gould's hair salon. She was
Mm-hmm.
the only black hairstylist. And it was basically like I've had her like I still go to her when I go back home. So she's been my hairstylist since I was 5.
Yeah.
And so like what she would do is like I would get like two pigtails on the side of my head and
Mm-hmm.
she would like take like a small curler and like curled like the little ends in it so it was like two and then the ends were curled. So I did that every 2 weeks up until I was like seventh grade.
Mm-hmm.
It like transformed from two pigtails to like one, and then instead of curling the ends, it was like straight. So like it stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
But that was like my first phase. And then around my second phase, it was like eighth grade. I did not want ponytails anymore. I was getting older. So I did like she would like straighten it and I would wear my hair down, but I would still go every 2 weeks. And then like once it got old, I would like it would like be like a ponytail. And
Mm-hmm.
then after that, my third hair phase would be like around high school when I like started to switch hairstylists. Like I like went to a couple different ones. Then my hair got messed up, so then I had to cut a good chunk of it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then so I had like a little short, like kind of bob. Um, and then I would say like my fourth, like I would like I switched back to going to my regular
Mm-hmm.
hairstylist, but then COVID hit, and this was like sophomore year of high school. I started wearing it natural. Like I've always been natural. I haven't had a relaxer, but I started wearing it like washing it, doing like a braid out, and then doing like
Gotcha.
a puff. So I did that like sophomore year all through quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
I wore like just braid out styles because I
Mm-hmm.
mean I was in quarantine. I didn't
Right.
really have to. And now I'm kind of in like where I have to do it on my own, where I go between back and forth between braids and yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what was that like though, the quarantine, they're having to handle your actual natural poof?
Yeah, it was a lot. Um, this is where I wish I could wear my hair curly all the time,
Yeah.
but
It's a lot.
it's one of the questions that you asked was like what your advice was to someone, and like I kind of like was like don't let anyone tell you what to do with your hair,
Mhm.
no matter what it is, because I kind of got caught up in like the community of if you don't wear your hair curly, like
Yeah.
you're not black enough or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like I just kind of got caught up in that and like it was just so hard for me to maintain it. And then like when the results weren't coming and like I wasn't feeling as confident in my hair because not because it was curly, but because like one, I just wasn't used to seeing myself like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was just and then like doing it like I really liked like it grew my hair out a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I like straightened my hair again and like got it curled, I was like, oh, this is me though. I like this is my personality. Like I like how I look.
Yeah.
And so once I like junior year came where we like I went through the whole self-reflection. I was like, well, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like, I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
listen to anyone tell me what to do, like what's good and what's not. I'm gonna do what makes me feel beautiful. If that's straightening my hair every 2 weeks, then that's fine for me.
Yeah.
Like a little heat damage never hurt me. I'm
You're
okay with it.
right. Yeah, that's powerful, Caitlin. You are a powerful young lady. When I think about how we have another like dichotomy between like if you don't wear your afro, you're not really black. And if you straighten your hair, then you're trying to be white. And it's like,
Yeah,
or am I just more confident
right.
how I want my hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand you. And I don't know about you, this has nothing to do with hair, but for me and just my upbringing, I found that when I was around a lot of Black people, it would be like you're too white for Black people, but too Black for white people. And you're like this awkward middle phase.
Those I still go through that. Like I go to University of Miami, it's a PWI and
Yeah.
um like it's just honestly like it just never goes away, especially like you were in Jack and Jill, so they already have that like stigma
Yeah.
on you,
Yep.
like, oh, this Jack and Jill kid,
Right.
and like, I don't know, they're just not as nice as you think they would, like, because like, I don't know if you know that, like, TikTok sound that's like I'm not feeling the sisterhood. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't feel it, and I'm like, oh.
Yep. Yeah, it's like we're like stepchildren sometimes, or like Cinderella. Everybody else is all are like Cinderella and her stepsisters, right? And she has that evil stepmom, and it's like sometimes we don't exactly feel a part of the Black community, but we also don't feel a part of the white community either. Like
Right.
we're just
Because I know, like, now I know I'm not white,
right.
and like I I fully aware, and
Hmm.
like now I like, but it's just like a lot of like the white kids, like, they just treat me a little better now, like, here, like, they just like, um and I like, at home I have this like really solid group of black friends, like,
Hmm.
of black girls, and like it kind
Hmm.
of formed my junior it kind of the group kind of formed my junior year, and we're still really good friends to this day,
Yeah.
and we talk about it in our group chat all the time, like, it's not like this, like I thought I was going to go to college and like have the same type of thing, and I was like, oh, it's not like this. Like, you got to find your crew. Well, honestly, my group of black girls at home was still the same. Like, went to private school,
Yeah.
like in Jack
Hmm.
and Jill. Most of them I met in Jack and Jill.
Hmm.
Um, like, we kind of grew up the same way. So then when I came here, I was just kind of confused. I was like, what's the difference in you wearing a wig that's straight and me straightening my hair? Like, how are you going to be mad at me if you're doing the same thing?
You're preaching. You're preaching because yep, there'll be times where some of our Black women will wear the wigs and have like the baby edges and everything. But if we are wearing our hair any other way, it's like I don't know. Um, that's a whole nother conversation. A whole nother topic is how accepting or unaccepting, is that a word? I hope,
Yeah.
that the Black community can be. And I don't know if it's like we struggle with our own self-acceptance. We struggle with like, what does it mean to be Black? We're all out here having all these different experiences and not knowing how to navigate them, but we also don't understand like other people's stories are true, or other people can face different adversities, or other Black people have different Black experiences. um, yes, yes, that was a tangent. Um,
Yeah.
but what two words would you describe for your different phases? How would you describe?
For like the first couple, I would say like comfortable
Mhm,
and like routine.
mhm.
Uh, for the second, I would say like kind of growth and like like growing up, and like unique like identity. Like, I came into like myself more, like my mom wasn't like, oh, you're like telling the hairstyles what to do with my hair anymore.
Mhm.
They were more like asking me. And then I kind of got lost, and then um like I kind of experimented,
Mhm.
and then I got back on track and started going, and then started like acceptance, kind of,
Yeah.
and like kind of what's a word for like doing what you want, like, uh
Doing what you want. I think of like self-awareness, knowing yourself so much, but I know that that's like a leading word to what you're saying.
yeah, uh
I mean, acceptance is I see acceptance. Mhm.
acceptance,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah, acceptance works. Um, what do you feel like was the highest point in your hair journey and your lowest point?
I would say the highest point is where I am now, kind of just doing whatever I want to do. If I want to straighten my hair every 2 weeks, I do it. If I want braids, I do it. I do whatever I want as long as I keep my hair healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then my lowest point, I would say, would be elementary school, when I didn't when I was like I was like confused why I didn't have white hair. I was like it was like identity crisis because well, I was born in Memphis, then my family moved to Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where my family was the black population. Like I like because and I was like 3 or 4 at this point. So I didn't understand that I wasn't white also. So like we would get in the pool and I was like, why is their hair like I was just confused because I was like 3 or 4 and the only people I've been around were white girls that were
Mhm.
young. And so I would say that was a low point because I really didn't understand what was going on. And that's why my mom was really happy for us to move back to Memphis because my mom was like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah, my babies need to know something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's impactful to think about how something as simple as like seeing somebody's hair react different to something that you've experienced plenty of times. You know, you took baths, you know how your hair looks when it gets
Right.
wet. And that can be such a monumental moment for people. Um, yeah, because mine's about the same. Is I born in Wyoming, Cheyenne, Wyoming, black population was the Bentley family. You know, it's the
Yeah.
same stuff. Just that my dad was military. He was an officer in the military. My mom was a teacher and a hairstylist. Lo and behold, curls for queens. Um, and so I remember my mom was like, I have to make sure you guys know that you're black because we were raised in like places like Wyoming, Nebraska, Lompoc, California.
Yeah.
Who looks like us? And nobody. There's not even people that are tan in those places other than California. Like, yeah. Um, yeah, so I can see how powerful your story really can be, and even the different parts that other people can touch and have that same experience. Let's see here. Have you ever connected with someone over hair?
This like when I saw this is a good story because um in Memphis there's this like leadership thing that like a lot of like they go to like a lot of different schools and it's kind of like minority kids like
Mhm.
90% black. Honestly, I would say like 80% black. The rest is like Latino. And there's like the minority is white kids. So
Okay.
like it would be a group of black, like they split you up into groups and it's like a whole week of like leadership training. And like this year it was like overnight. And so we were like at this like in this girl's dorm one night. Like there was like 10 of us in there just hanging out. And like all around me was like everyone in their bonnets, like this like that day like it rained and I had like a sew-in so like the top of my hair was like kind of puffy and this girl like was like kind of like greasing my hair like she was like kind of braiding it down so that it looked good and like she just did it with like she just like oh yeah I'll help you and then like we were just all like talking and like girls were like wrapping their hair like everyone had bonnets on and like there was this one white girl in the corner just like chilling and it was like the first time like I had like been like my like type of hair type was in the majority and it wasn't like oh I was a black girl the one black girl at the sleepover with my bonnet on like I wasn't like that type where like my closest friends I'll whip out my bonnet like like in the middle of a sleepover I don't care but like this was the first time like everyone had it but this one girl she was in the minority and it really shows you that like she didn't care she just like oh like she was like oh that she thought it was cool like not cool but she was like she had appreciated it she was like oh like you take care of your hair at night so that like it's not like rough in the morning. And so it was like the first time that like my type of hair was in the majority and it was just like nice to like relax about that.
Yeah, yeah. It was kind of like your friend got exposure. She had
Yeah.
exposure to some of the things that we see every day.
Yeah.
That's super awesome. Um, do you feel like your hair has had an effect on your mental health, culture? And if you don't know, speculate.
Um I would say it definitely has. Um like I'm still working on like oh if my hair looks good I'll go out and if it doesn't I'll stay in like I'm still working on that part but um it's I feel like it's just another part of like your mental health and being a black woman. You have to like just like recognize that it's not your hair that's like ugly or what like society deems as like not professional. It's just how like the European beauty standard is in America. Like you just have to um realize that that doesn't mean you're not beautiful. And like that affected my mental health like my sophomore junior year of high school, where I would just be like, why am I ugly? Why do like boys not like me? Like they like them, and then like I honestly was like, I feel like I'm prettier than them. Like
Right.
doesn't make any like, I don't understand. And then you had to realize that it's not you, it's just how the world is kind of, and you
Mhm.
just kind of have to be like, I'm beautiful, but I'm like, I just had to keep repeating to myself, I'm beautiful, but I am not white.
Right.
And that is the reason.
Yeah. Powerful. I already know which parts of this interview I'm going to take clips from. Uh, okay, what would you say or tell a young girl struggling with her hair now?
um at first I would tell her to relax because I know how like I would get like worked up, but like my mom would just be like, relax, Caitlin. Like it's honestly not that big of a deal in the hindsight. Like you know how you think like things are a big deal in the moment, but in the hindsight, like once you get over it, you're like, oh, that wasn't actually a big deal.
Yeah.
I would tell her like you're beautiful inside and out. Don't compare yourself to other people because that's where you can really get down on yourself.
Hmm.
Even not even comparing yourself to like white people, comparing yourself to other black girls that like maybe have a different hair texture than you, they may have a different like looser curl pattern than you.
Hmm.
Um, because once you get rid of comparing yourself and just focusing on your hair and yourself, I would first like take action. Like I find relaxation in having a plan. So I kind of at home I had like a hairstylist that I would go to every week. And she like cared about the health of my hair. So I didn't really worry about it that much. But then the first couple months here, I didn't have that. And I don't know why, but no one like washes hair in Florida. So I would be the one washing my hair and then going to the hair salon. And I hated that because I like didn't think I did it right. And
Hmm.
then I recently found this girl in Florida. It's like out of her house, but she has like an attachment with like um a bowl, a washing bowl, the hairs, dryers, like all of it. And
Hmm.
she like does like deep treatments and stuff.
Oh,
And I go to
awesome.
her regularly now.
Hmm.
And we just were kind of talking one day, and I was like, this is the first time I've gotten my hair washed by someone here. And we were just, she was like taking me through her hair journey, and I like kind of told her like what I wanted to do with mine. And she was like, oh, we can definitely do that.
Hmm.
And like, cause I would get sew-ins, and she was like, oh, just come back every 2 weeks and like we'll refresh it. And then after the second time you come back, we'll take it out. I'll do a deep treatment and then let it rest, and then you can put it back in if you want to.
Oh, that's really
And
good.
like just her doing that, like giving me a plan to keep my hair healthy, just
Mhm.
made me relax a whole bunch.
Yeah.
So, and she also does braids and stuff. So like I'm giving my business to one person that can basically do like she just like made me feel comfortable in my hair. So I would say go to someone, have them make you a plan so that you don't feel like you're alone in it, and then follow that plan, and then I feel like everything will get like better after that.
Awesome. Yeah. And then it's another key part that I hear you talking about is having that person that you can trust, having that
Yeah.
one person. Yeah. Awesome. Anything else that you want to say before we move to the funny questions?
Um that's it.
Awesome. Is I know that do you have the question in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one do you want to answer? Or do you want to answer all of them? It's up to you.
The what is your holy grail hair product?
All right. Let it rip.
Okay, so my first one is the Design Essentials Avocado Shampoo and Conditioner. I
Hmm.
don't know what it is about this one, but like, because I don't wash my hair by myself that often, but when I use this, it makes it so easy to untangle my natural hair.
Mm,
So I would recommend that, and I would also recommend the anything by Camille Rose.
yeah.
Any of their products. Their oil, I live by it every week. I put it on.
Yeah. Well, awesome, Caitlin. This was an absolute honor. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you working with me as I got through Google and Zoom. Um, yeah, and so what I'll do from here, oh, I need to send you the media release. So I'll send you the media release, and then starting in February, we are going to start shooting these interviews out. They will be in snippets, and then we're probably going to edit it for our new YouTube channel that we're hoping to start come this January. But yeah, you can stay updated. We just ask that when we post your interview, that you share it on your own social media and stuff. Help us with some outreach. And then if you have any questions or anything, I am a text, a call, an email away. Um, yeah. And is there anything that I can help you with? I love networking. So
Um, I was gonna say, if you want, the student consultancy is called Orange Umbrella at the University of Miami.
okay,
So if you need just to like contact us like about like promotion, PR, like a new brand, like stuff like that, they're really good at that.
awesome.
Um, and then that's it.
Okay, awesome, girly. Well, I will email you the media release, and then yeah, I'll see where this goes.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, it was an absolute honor. I'm glad we got to connect on our Jack and Jill experience as Black
Yeah.
women. Yeah, and then yeah, stay in touch too. Okay, you take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.